My house is tilted. That'll do. That'll do. Ooh. Let's get some light. Oh, let there be light. Good enough. Good enough. All right. What's up? Hope you're doing well. Gonna be working on these blanks here today. These are pretty cool. So we got them out, or I got them out the other day, and then Abby was out of town. Went and picked her up yesterday. So here we go. So we got this bad boy we're gonna do. So pretty cool. How you doing, Stylophile? Good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, these are pretty neat. We'll see how they turn. Sometimes neons they turn a little bit softer than other blanks, which means that you can take deeper cuts. And you know that's kind of a good and bad thing, depending on if you're familiar with being able to do that and actually doing it. So kind of an interesting thing. But yeah, let's see. I guess that's about it for now. We'll continue chatting, but I'm gonna get to turning. Let's see. Boom. I think I might have moved that camera a little bit. Let's reduce the size of it. That'll work. So how are things going? Having a good day, good morning. Yeah, so I've had a Discord channel for quite some time now, and I was thinking about sharing the link for it. I just haven't actually done it yet. Move these over so we can focus on the regulars. But here we go. So this is what they're looking like right now. Pretty cool. I like these. I like them. Boom, no water. Perfect. Morning. What time is it where you are? All right. Okay. So not huge time difference. It's like 120 here. Yes, there we go. Oh man. So you may or may not have heard, but I did mention it in some of my other, well, I guess one or two of my other streams that there was a firefighter posting in the town that I'm in, or the city that I'm in, and so I thought it would be pretty cool, and so I ended up sending my application, got a response, and have to take, or I went to go, sorry, let me back up. So a firefighter listing was there, and I was like, you know what? I've wanted to be a firefighter for quite some time. Give it a shot. So I sent my application with background and everything, and then I got a response, and then, or I didn't get a response actually. That was part of the problem. So I had to go back a little bit and see if they actually received my email. So I ended up going to the station and talking to the captain that was there, and it was a pretty good chat. So I got a message about a week or two later asking me if I wanted to participate in the physical assessment of it. And I was like, oh man, that is in like 2 weeks. And you know, when I put my application in, I started getting a little bit of conditioning in, wearing a weight vest and stuff. But yeah, I went couple, I guess the last Thursday is when I took the actual physical evaluation part of it, and it was a doozy, especially, you know, being kind of ill prepared for it, I would say. But ended up going fine. I got a message earlier today, actually, saying that I was going to be moving to the next phase of the oral interview part. So that's pretty cool. One of the craziest things about it all, really, is that the station that that I went to go do the fitness test was at the house that I grew up in. And I guess what I should probably clarify that a little bit more. So I grew up next to my grandparents, and lived on 32 acres of land. And then when my grandfather passed, he left the land to my mom, and then my mom ended up selling it to the city, and so the city built a fire station on it with training grounds and everything like that. So it looks way different now. So it was really kind of crazy because of everything that they did to build up, and the stuff that they removed, and my physical assessment was in basically the backyard. So kind of crazy. I mean, obviously it looks a lot different. There were a lot of woods when I was growing up there, and now it's all cleared out. Cloud Dancer in the mail. I appreciate it. Yeah, Abby kind of told me about it, so we'll take a look at it and see what it is that's a little off about it. She kind of sent me told me a little bit about the details, but I'll do a little function check and everything like that once it gets here, and kind of feel where it's off. I appreciate it. You know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but it'd be cool if it did. The schedules are awesome. Because you're working 24s or 48s, I guess. 24 or 48s. And, you know, you hit full time really quick doing it that way as far as the hours go. and then being able to be a part of the community again, which is something that I don't know. Kind of still seems like something I'd be fit for. I think I could do some good stuff while I'm doing it. But yeah, I hit it off well with the people. So pretty cool. I might have asked you already, but do you play video games? Or does anybody play video games? Or do they turn only? And then I also mentioned that I was have a Discord channel that I have put some time into that I'm thinking I will share the link for and everything, so be an easier way to communicate, and then also do like specific kinds of videos. I think it'd be pretty fun. So because this is a softer material, and these noodles like to coil around, and then they're kind of hard. So it's kind of weird. You have a PS5 and Switch, never seem to take the time. Last game was Diablo. I never played Diablo. I did play a little bit of the Switch. I was an Xbox kind of person. The only reason I played PlayStation a long time ago was because of God of War. God of War was a lot of fun. But I've been playing a lot of World of Warcraft since there was a new expansion that came out. It's been out for a few weeks, I guess now. But it's been pretty fun. Definitely more approachable for new people, new players and stuff. Some games are all about like the journey of getting to maximum level, and then some other games are all about like the end game kind of stuff. Ooh, pink, blue, purple. There we go. That is a bright one. But these actually feel nice. Now with AI RAM and GPU chips, yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Like, it's funny you mentioned that, like the different components at least. I built the computer that I'm streaming on, and then mine and Abby's first computer, well, when we lived together, I guess. Like I built those, and then pricing it out now, it's so much less expensive to just buy just a built PC if you're going for specs alone. So we ended up buying computers once we needed an update or upgrade. But yeah, I saw earlier that the RAM prices have gone down. I haven't verified that, but saw that was a thing that happened, which is interesting. Well, fortunately, I don't need to do anything with my computer right now. It should be set for at least another year or two, but whew, the rate everything is changing. Not to mention I play a 20-year-old game. And so you do have to like upgrade over time, but because the game is relatively, or it was built on a relatively older thing, platform in mind, then it was kind of, I didn't want to make it too obsolete. Hey Vinny, how you been? Yes sir, they are. They're doing well indeed. They'll be at the Florida show, and apparently they'll also be at the DC show this year. We were not anticipating taking them, but we'll bring them this time. And thank you. Yeah, the blanks do look pretty cool. Is that Abby's port? Yeah, pretty much everything. Every time you see me turning diamond painting pins, except for the wood, obviously, Abby makes them. And like, if you ever went to look at the other stuff, it well, we basically have two concurrent businesses, I would say, and one of which is diamond painting pins, and the other one is fountain pins. And the fountain pins is my passion stuff, and then the diamond painting pins, you know, is kind of what kickstarted it all. And then it gives me a lot of time to practice spindle turning and try out different things and stuff like that. So it's also you know, a lot less expensive to get into turning in the first place, which is like, for example, with the fountain pen stuff, you don't need to have like the triple lead, and you don't need to have all the different brass mandrels and stuff like that, but it certainly makes it easier, having the right tool for the job, you know. But one of the things that I find very enjoyable about it all is, you know, obviously just turning and then sharing with people what we do. So if you ever went or wanted to look at some of the past colorways that Abby's done over the past, I guess almost 6 years now, there is our Instagram and TikTok for that is Butterfly Effect Wares, and Wares is like W-A-R-E-S. So there was quite a while where we didn't really want them to blend, like overlap, but you know, at some point it was getting kind of funny because some people were like, "Oh, that looks just like the Blakes from butterfly effect wears, and we're like, oh man, yeah, well, it's the same people. But neons, as far as blank making goes, neons are really hard to do, actually. Like, you can get photoreactive or light reactive blanks, but getting them to where they don't have, we call them schmeckles, but basically the pigment pockets is really the challenging part of it. A 2019 PC, there's nothing wrong with a 2019 PC. You got the graphics card and the RAM and everything to go along with it. Because I mean, I think an i7 can still do an i7 processor with, you know, the GPU I have in this computer that I stream on is a 1050 Ti, which when I built the computer, it was like, I want to say it was like 10 years old. Well, they were on the 30 series when I built it, so definitely had budget in mind when I was doing that. But we built both computers, I think, for let's see, it was probably about maybe 24. So each one was about 1,200. But we shopped on like the Black Friday, and we knew exactly what we were looking for, and we kept an eye on the prices of things. But you know, it wasn't this whole AI craze going on, so. But I got to get back into, you know, streaming pin making and stuff like that, because, you know, it kind of took a little bit of time to try and do the whole, like, build a class or course type of thing. And, you know, I have a pretty good foundation, but when it comes to, like, method of delivery, that's one of my biggest problems at the moment. Like, how do I want to give the information or provide the information. I was thinking like a PDF, but you know, that's quite impersonal. Then I was thinking video clips, but that takes time to do that many. But I'll probably end up doing it in that format. But then where do I put the video clips? And the actual thing that I have is a 30-day, like, kind of quick, not a quick start, but like it's like a Kickstarter type of thing. And you know, I think I like the way that sounds. But it's been a real doozy trying to make the time happen, because you know, I'll be doing it to help people, but you know, I kind of gotta balance that with, you know, wants and needs and other stuff. So I guess that was kind of my hesitation for quite a while. And I also have like a mental block of like these online guru people, and I don't want to come off like that. So anytime you make a course and you're like, hey, I got a course here that'll do this and that, and then I'm like, oh, here's a kickstarting turning course. Like, I don't know. It's obviously not as flashy or exciting unless that's really what you want to do, and that's ultimately the people that I would like to be a part of it anyway. But I don't make outlandish claims like you're going to build a 6-figure business with turning. Like, the likelihood is really low. So, and the whole framing of it all is like, you could build a 6-figure business. Like, okay. I don't know. Some things just feel wrong. Like, my most clickbaity thumbnail that I ever made was how I make a kitless pen. And I think it's just because I'm in the picture with the weird face, or on the thumbnail with the weird face. And so many people got mad because I didn't actually explain anything or talk, but you know, in my mind, I think that there's a lot of value just by watching. And the other part of it is I think that there's a good deal of value for people to come to the stream when I'm doing that, which is really the intent of it in the first place. Your PC was during the COVID mining in 2020? A 3080, man. Yeah, no kidding. A 3080, you're set. I'm pretty sure I could still play WoW. Well, actually, I know I can on a on my laptop 1050 Ti. So I know that it is a pretty good graphics card. Yeah, technology is advancing really fast. But this is my, I guess this is my contribution to slowing it down. Or at least slowing people down a little bit, because it's not a race to the finish. At least I don't think it is. So hopefully this is a way to get people to like slow down, reflect. Like, when my kids are on their devices at night, the following morning, I'll sometimes ask them if they remember anything that they did the previous night. And they can't, because the amount of things that they did is like so much. Just not spending enough time on any particular thing. And so I just think that that's not a very good thing. So I'll have them write in cursive. And cursive is also, one, so they learn cursive, two, so they can read cursive, and also it makes them write slower. And so they're actually thinking about what they're writing, the shape of what it is that they're writing, the wording. Because when you write slow and deliberately, I think that you're also more choosy with your words. And I think that that also plays a big role in broadening people's vocabulary. I could be totally off, but you're afraid that the economy is going to really hit the pin market? Stop buying big manufactured pins like Pilot. Oh man. Yeah, prices have just gotten astronomical. Yeah, I mean, the weird thing about some of those pins too is, I guess I probably, I don't know, it's fine, it's open. Like, a lot of those pins are injection molded. So the precious resins, I won't name drop, but the precious resins that are used in some pins are injection molded, and then it's marketing. And then there's some of the materials and the labor that goes to like the quality control and stuff like that. But yeah, I look at business structures, which is just kind of a weird thing to do, but I look at business structures to see how they're done, and then like the making of. Obviously, you can't know everything, but a lot of those are injection molded. And then when you have other things on the outside, then those are actually the ones that have like inputs, I would call them, like external inputs. And so I think that that's just a more interesting way to look at things. When you look at something and you're like, every single one of them is so perfect, how? And then you're like, well, because there's a master copy or master mold or whatever. But or it's done on like a machine. So I'm not knocking them. It's more of a, I think people don't really care in some cases, which is also okay. But there are predictions of like the collector's market going kind of crazy too. You've probably seen it with like Pokemon cards and other weird baseball cards, Matchbox cards, all kinds of things. So it's kind of interesting. Hey, you said it, not me. Like, I guess I gotta give some credit too, because creating an injection mold for it, you know, in and of itself is impressive. It's just, it's a lot of trial and error to get the mold just right so everything fits together. But once you do that, it's like, well, now there's not really any other inputs on it. It's just a printing press at that point. And so a lot of the value is in the nibs, and a lot of companies or brands can make gold nibs. But yeah. There's actually some YouTube videos on how it's made type of thing. it's got that kind of structure to it, and Mont Blanc pins is one of them. So many don't bother to buff out the flaws from an injection. The molds are 5 to 6 figures to make. Yeah. And I'd imagine, I mean, actually, if I really wanted to, we could make these as like an injection mold type. But there would still be problems. You would see a seam. So I mean, just throwing it out there, if you did try to make a mold for something like this, it would be hard to get it out, for one, because it's not straight. And if you did happen to use silicone and you kind of cut it in a spiral, which lends itself to make it easier for removal, what you'll run into then is, you know, your mold not lasting very long because it won't hold the shape correctly. And then another thing that you can run into is, you know, it's the same shape every time. There's no deviation. I've seen some people, they use like makeup brush handles, which, you know, that's kind of cool. Makeup brush handles, that's a way to get different types of designs, but I also think that it kind of lessens the work and dedication others put into each different design that they create, because it's just a duplication of it. But then on the other hand, how do you share that creation with the most amount of people? So say that I made something that was like, wow, it's incredible. Well, only one person can really enjoy that thing, you know? So you're kind of limited like that in different ways. So I think it all comes down to the type of business slash person that you want to be or become. It has crossed my mind actually for kit pins to just use my metal lathe, because all I would really need to do, which I've done it too, but I just can't get past it. I just run the carriage and it trims down the blank to the correct diameter, and it's already got a hole in it. So then you bring it over here, you finish it, and then you're done. Like, it just feels a little wrong. Have I followed the screwdriver development? No, I have not. What is that? The LTT. Not sure what that is. But if you go to a website like Xometry, or that's one of the biggest ones I know of. Xometry is a place where you can get master copies made for injection molds and stuff, and they're not too expensive. Like, the other thing is like the complexity of the injection mold. Like, if it's for like one little part, then it's not a problem. But if it's like for a whole bunch, then it's like, what's going on here? But let's see. So a seam that I'm talking about, you can kind of, I don't think they'll be able to catch it. well, you can't really see it, but there's a seam right down the line here, and that's because it's made that way, and then it stamps it together. Actually, maybe this section component, you'll be able to see it better. You can kind of see it. But there's it's a two-part, and it's put together. Linus Tech Tips. Okay, yeah, I have watched them develop nice screwdrivers from merch stores. But no, I haven't watched that. That's pretty cool. I think you know, the general business model that we have is creating handles. Like if you simplify it to the essence of what it is, I think that's really what pin makers are, or handle makers. Yeah. What a lot of turners are. There's a lot that make bowls and stuff, so a thing holder. Yeah. It took them like 3 years from conception to release. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at what you're talking about, but I will say that there's a lot of fluff to numbers for marketing and stuff like that, because like when I think of that, I think of they've been working on that specifically for 3 years, and I just don't believe it. What? I can't understand you. Sorry. Abby just now getting into the shop. But yeah, when I hear that or see that, it's like, wow. I don't know. I probably overanalyze a lot of things, so. Like the parallel pin design that I've been working on, but I worked on it for like a day, and then I didn't work on it for a little bit, and then I worked on it for another day, and then I didn't work on it for a little bit. But I started working on it like probably 3 years ago or so. But this is what I came up with. So these are the basic like pins that I was working on, and then let's see if we can find the actual thing. There it is. So it's a parallel pin. So I modified like one of the resin blanks just to fit the threads of a parallel pin. So it's not like I've been working on this specific design for that long. I worked on it and then I stopped, and then I worked on it and then I stopped, and but all these posts. So, but yeah, been like ever since I learned about the parallel pin, the thing that I like to do is deconstruct and reconstruct in a different way. So I also think that the base handle for the parallel pin sucks, but it doesn't really matter because people like being able to write with a like 3 millimeter wide nib, so it doesn't matter to them. But I just wanted to make it more compact and more reminiscent of what I'm already doing, while appreciating what it is. Because and then, I mean, the reason I made it the way that I did is because I want it to be noticeable. I'm not trying to sneak anything by anybody. I think that's just poor form. Is that based on a Marauder? Yeah, it's actually. So we don't. When I first started making pins, I did have a previous model called the Bastion. It's since changed form, but my Bastion was my postable version, and I switched it to where it's a deep one. So I don't make the regular ones like that anymore. But this is more reminiscent of a Marauder shape with a Bastion function type of thing, where it's quite tapered on both ends, and then it also posts. Fair use. Hey, it's crossed my mind. I'm like, hey, pilot, you want me to design with you for you? But yeah, I don't think I don't have enough traction yet, so we're working on it. Another one that I made recently is actually. Let me turn off Morty for a sec, so it's not so loud in here. Another one that I was working on that's pretty cool, I think, is right here actually. So you I don't know. Whatever. But I've been working on a different one because some people they don't like fountain pens, right? They're kind of high maintenance. And then some people they don't like roller balls because they can leak. If you don't have a release inside the cap of some sort and you close it, it creates that pressure which compresses the ball, and then you turn it upside down, then it leaks. The ink leaks through the ball. So you need to have a little bit of a release in there. Now the other thing that I was working on is actually somebody was asking me if you're like, oh, you make pens like the Bic Bureaus, and I said, the what? You know, like one of the original ballpoint pens. And I said, no. So I ended up looking into the Bic. So this is the Bic Crystal, right? So it's pretty straightforward. And then this is where everybody knew that the reason they had a hole there is so if you choke on it, then, you know, you'd be all right. You can still breathe, at least pass air, right? So that was another interesting thing. Anyway, the guy came over and he told me what a Bic Bureau was. And so I was like, huh, that's pretty cool. Let's see if I can deconstruct and reconstruct something for that. So this is one of the things I came up with. I have a through hole on both sides so I can see where it is. But basically, this is a friction fit modification basically to where I deconstructed, reconstructed. And so one of the problems that I was having with the actual crystal part for this pin was the hole, because when you turn, you have the issue of the hole itself not holding the ink securely, but I fixed that with something else that I had. So, you know, I just kind of made a different modification on it. I still haven't really, the cap is too, it doesn't go down far enough, so I want the cap to go down farther. And I don't know if I like the dip in there, but I do like the girth. And, you know, you get the old school appreciation of the big crystal pin. Like, this is one of the originals of pins. But, you know, I've done some other little things in here that I'm not going to share. But let's see. Fair use, fair use. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from the different pin companies and stuff. That's not my intent. If anything, it should illuminate them even more. Oh, here's the actual pilot parallel. So this is what it is, but you put the cap down because you can't do anything else with it. Baby, I can't hear you. But yeah, it's kind of like a paintbrush looking handle, like kind of like this, like regular paintbrush type of handle, but as a parallel pin. So what? What'd you say? Oh yeah. We still have to pay for them and get the components and stuff like that in order to make them. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Michael. How do I keep the cap from cracking? That's a good question. I mean, it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick, but there's not really any particular way you can prevent it from cracking, other than keeping the thickness, the wall thickness, especially with the base part, substantial, I guess. There's another thing that I could potentially do is cut and put a band on it, like a little collar type of thing, which is, you know, something that could be done, I suppose. But that is a way to prevent it from cracking. I just wanted to basically, this is essentially, what this is basically like a sketch. This is, I guess, my version of sketching it out. Because I have something in mind, and then I need to start making it. And then I'll get it to a point where I'm like, okay, now we got to solve the next problem, and then the next problem, and the next problem, and so on. But it's a lot of fun I get from that. Let's see. Do I have? I guess I don't have one out here. What is this? Oh, this is another little thing that I kind of sketched out as well. So it's a pin. It's like, I think it's 4 inches long. But the way that this one works is a little different than you would expect. So I guess it's 4 3/4, so it's kind of close to 5. But I built it around the ink, right? But check this out. you think you would unscrew it and the ink would be over here, but check it. You screw it in and the ink comes out. So you write with it like this. I still need to get some of my measurements accurate, but it's basically a retractable type of pen, but I haven't quite figured out how to make it to where somebody won't go all the way back. So there is that. Anyway, I work on a lot of different projects and have different approaches to the different ones and stuff like that. But I don't know necessarily how everything is going to come together from the beginning. So it's something that I just kind of work on over time. And so I guess all that kind of stems from taking 3 years to develop a handle. Yeah. But I mean, the reality is, if you were a turner and you wanted to build a 6-figure business, then you could. You just got to know how or what to do and be willing to put in all the effort it would take in order to get there, which most people will not want to do. And gotta say, I wouldn't do it necessarily for free, but money's not really a huge concern of mine. I don't really view it as dollars the same way, I guess. Like what I see on Facebook groups, and it's like, where can I sell my stuff? And like, man, I love painting. So I like innovating and iterating and taking something that hasn't been changed for a long time and then, you know, throwing my own little flair on it. I find those things very satisfying. But yeah. Anyway, little rant, I suppose. But I like turning and filmmaking. That's what I really enjoy doing. And problem solving. I really like problem solving. Oh, and if you didn't know, I did post a video over the weekend of different techniques that I'm using while turning. Again, not really explaining, but showing, but there are captions throughout the entire thing of the different specific parts that I'm looking at doing. Yeah. Because I think that a lot of people don't really they use carbide one way and they don't change it. And I think that's one of those things, because it's newer, relatively speaking, to steel tools, that there's not really many people that have put time into it and know the different ways, or figured out the different ways to get different techniques that are that it's capable of. So that was the intent, at least, to illuminate some of those things. Because I do think that it's an easier starting point, but there's a high degree, let's say, of like levels of mastery which that's what we're all in pursuit of. Spending time with the craft, trying to improve. No schmeckles. No schmeckles.
Has anyone seen Project Hail Mary yet? I read the book and really enjoyed it.
I was hoping that they'd make a movie about it, and that time finally came about 5 years after I read the book, and it's out in theaters.
So I'll be going to see it this weekend. Looking forward to that. Pretty sure it's the same person that wrote
The Martian, Andy Ware, maybe.
which is one of my favorite movies for sure. Just the thought of being alone entirely, and the whole
overcoming obstacles and challenges throughout the entire thing is just, I find a great deal of satisfaction in that type of stuff. But I don't really want to go to space, so not really a destination I'd like to venture to. Right now, wrap up the stream after this one, and then continue on. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that's what these, or what this week's diamond painting pins are going to be made with the neon rainbow. That's what they're called. Switch over here. do a little outro and call it a day. Yeah. Yeah, Gerald, appreciate you. Vinny, thanks for stopping by. Mike, you too. Good seeing all y'all. And anybody else that I may have missed. It's good. Good stream. We talked a little bit about some big brand pens and yeah, showed some other different designs and stuff that I've got cooking. So yeah, I'm gonna keep at it for a little while, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah, I think that's about it. Have a good day.